Good morning, or whatever time it is when you are viewing this, from whatever continent you're on in the world. Yeah, I just had an experience of giving away my power with somebody. And while I was giving it away, it was so automatic and it happened so kind of fast in a way. It was like such a habitual tendency that there wasn't really enough consciousness or awareness to stop it from happening because it was such a people-pleasing pattern. But I could feel in my body the shift taking place. Like, oh, I'm giving my power away in this moment right now because I don't want to hurt, offend this other person, or I don't. Well, it was more like we have a good connection going and I don't want to disrupt that and I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable, so I'm going to be codependent here and caretake for the other instead of speaking my truth, owning a boundary that needs to be set in this moment with this other person. Because there was just like, oh, I really like him and I don't want to hurt his feelings, and just this kind of codependent thing that's so automatic. Maybe especially for an empath, or especially for those who have childhood trauma where they didn't get to have boundaries or needs, where it was maybe dangerous or not a safe thing to set boundaries, when we were little, whatever the case might be. And I could feel like in my solar plexus and in my belly, this just like disconnection happening from that chakra, which is like our power center. And I just had this, and that's where this quote came from. Do you want to be in your power, or do you want people to like you? That I posted on the community section. Because that question came through for myself, that inquiry question of, do you want to feel what it's like to be in your power, which feels really good, and you feel fulfilled and whole and complete unto yourself? Or do you want to disconnect from yourself and your truth and try to like manage other people's feelings and manage their state so that they'll like you, which is kind of, you could say, in a harsh way, it seems a little harsh, but it is a form of manipulation in a sense. Of course, it's not intentional. A lot of this stuff is just so automatic. It's so ingrained in our behavior patterns that it just happens. And it's such a gift and a blessing to actually be able to see it, to actually be able to be in touch with your energy systems so intimately that you can feel it happening in real time. Because that's the first step to changing anything, is to become aware of it and to feel the energetic dissonance of the pattern of the of the behavior, whatever you want to say. And so that's what life is constantly doing for us. It's just showing us where we disconnect from ourselves. And I realized I wasn't actually doing him a service by disconnecting from myself. I would have actually been doing him a much greater service by staying in my power and pointing something out to him. That would have helped him so much more on his journey. Yes, it would have brought some discomfort and maybe uncomfortable feelings into our container. But I think that's a lot of what owning the truth is about. It's about becoming okay with making other people uncomfortable. Making yourself uncomfortable. That's the other thing. It's like, I didn't want to probably feel those feelings of, oh no, that fear of, and we have fear of upsetting others, because maybe when we were little, our caretakers or our parents, when maybe if we were to speak our truth, it would upset them, and that would be a very scary experience for us. But my intuition is, in this particular space I was in, that the other would have more like very, maybe would have been very accommodating and would have been like, oh, thank you, I didn't realize that. So we have it ingrained in our nervous system. We project onto others a reaction they're gonna have if we are to own a boundary that we need in that moment. If we are to speak a boundary into the space, we have a projection that they're going to lash out at us, that they're going to react negatively, that they're going to get angry with us, that they're going to basically embody all the same behaviors that maybe our parents did or adults in our life did when we were growing up, etc. We feel like they're going to go into those unconscious patterns, and those unconscious patterns feel so scary to us because they used to be when we were little. But two things, a lot of times maybe they won't. If you find yourself in a conscious connection and container, maybe that won't happen. Maybe the other person will actually in real time say, like I said, have an appreciation for you speaking your truth and setting a boundary. The more conscious you become, the more you start to appreciate those who are good with boundaries and are willing to set them. Maybe it feels uncomfortable for you, or maybe it triggers you, but there's like a kind of like a respect there, like, oh, okay, wow, thank you for sharing that, because it gives you permission to start setting boundaries in your own life. So it can be very permission giving when you start setting boundaries with others. And the second thing is, just for example, say this other person I was with, say he did get triggered and he kind of started projecting his anger on me, like whatever, the worst, I can just feel in my body that would not have happened in this space. But let's just play this out for fun, just to really go with this, just to let the worst case scenario play out, like the fear is afraid of happening, like the inner child, Well, there's this other thing of like, well, we can handle that now. We're adults now, and it's not gonna like harm us in the way we think it would. We would just be like, oh wow. We might get a little confused in it and lost in it, but ultimately we could probably see, oh, that's probably about them, and it's triggering something in them, like their childhood stuff. It's not about me and my needs, and gently and lovingly, but with strength setting this boundary. It's about their own reaction to boundaries. It's about their own trauma around boundaries. So there was that. So even if like the worst does happen, you can handle it. And there is this thing about like you're owning the truth in the field, and that moves the energy in a certain way, and you get to stay connected to yourself. That's the most beautiful part. What you really want in this world is yourself. If people like you, that can feel nice, that can be fine, but that's never a permanent thing anyways. People are always gonna be changing their opinions about the other, about you. Maybe justifiably so. I give plenty of people a reason to justifiably not like me or to have negative opinions of me, and that's just part of life. We're all very flawed. We all make mistakes. We all have a shadow. We're just bumbling our way through this human experience, trying to do our very best, and we're learning. So like I said, you're gonna one day be a hero, then you'll be a villain, and you're gonna play all these different roles for all these different people, and none of that's in your control. And none of that's about you at all. It's just how life moves. And so I had this really beautiful teaching today come through, that I actually want to be in my power more than I want people to like me. And going through this feeling of being disconnected from myself and my power temporarily, it's not like some punishment from the universe. It's just the universe trying to teach me. It's trying to show me a pattern of mine, a people-pleasing pattern of mine that's no longer serving me. Because maybe these people-pleasing patterns did serve us at some point, right? Chills. And we thank that pattern. We thank that kind of, whatever you want to say, behavior, for how it served us in the past, and maybe it did keep us safe in the past, but we realize that we're growing out of it now and it's no longer serving us. And so that's what the universe was trying to teach me today. And it was such a helpful and beautiful teaching I got this morning. And to receive it in such a safe space too, where I just could feel like that space would have been so welcoming for my truth. It's just, there was this deep pattern in me that's just was like so afraid, this people-pleasing pattern, that it was like in the moment I just couldn't access my voice or something, because like I said, for the first however many times, it's just seeing it and then feeling kind of that energetic dissonance of not speaking our truth, and then gradually we learn to speak our truth in that place, put a boundary up in that place where it's needed, and then the pattern will slowly fall away, and then we get in our power in that place in our field where we were once disconnected. So life is always trying to bring us home to ourselves in all these different places where we've learned to disconnect and compromise energetically. Maybe for our own safety when we were little or whatever. So that's what I learned. It was such a beautiful teaching the universe gave me, so I thought I would just bring it through for you guys. Maybe it resonates with some of you. I've been really learning to let go of a lot of these codependent people-pleasing patterns, and it's been feeling so good. It's been feeling so good just being in my power, feeling complete unto myself, feeling so much wholeness. And I'm just so grateful to the universe for helping me, with these kind of difficult patterns that can be hard to see and hard to let go of, for sure, especially for us empaths. All right, thanks so much for watching this. I love you all so much. I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.